Hey Masters, welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery. During these interesting times, just sharing with everybody. I mean, we're touching base with our database. We're telling people just to be safe, be kind. I mean, I think right now it's a really important time to be kind to other people and support people. And it's a time. Honestly, I feel like this is a time that's gonna bring people together, so I'm excited about that. And other than that, though, it's certainly having an effect on our industry. I'm sharing an episode that was recorded about a month ago, maybe a little longer than that. This was before the coronavirus and everything. Albert, my business partner, and I recorded this episode, and it just hasn't been posted yet just because of everything. But interesting listening to it. Once you get to like the second half, there's a lot of, we talk a lot about how to be successful in the real estate market. And I just found it interesting. At first I wasn't going to post it, but then I found it interesting that it doesn't really matter what market we're in or what's happening. The stuff we talk about is really fundamental to taking listings and to, being in touch with people. And I think you're going to get a lot from this, and obviously, make some adjustments now based on the timing with being safe and using precaution and those measures. But other than that, this is a really fundamental episode, and I'm really excited to share it with you. And listen, if no one else told you this today, you rock, and I hope you stay safe and just be smart. Enjoy. My friends, we are here live with Mr. Albert the boxer. What? You want to fight? Oh. See that combination? Man?
I know.
All right, I don't play around, man. You know that. All right, well, welcome, my friend. So, hey, you know what's really exciting, really special, is that Albert now is going to be my co-host. Yeah. What do you think about that, brother? What do you think about that?
Dude, that's really crazy, and here's why. Because in the beginning of the year, 2020, three side projects that I decided to work on. One of those three was to get involved in podcasting. And we're in the third month, beginning of the third month, that this already started to happen. And it was all natural. I just kind of put the thought out there, and the rest started happening. So it's really cool. I'm super excited, man. Very, very excited about this.
That's I don't know, what do you call it? Visualization, or is it like when you put stuff out there in the universe and you're intentional, it just happens, right? Because for me, it's perfect timing as well, because we want to keep the podcast going, but it's getting a lot more challenging for me every week or even every other week to do this. So I'm excited to partner with you on this project and keep this going and continue with the guests. Dude, we have freaking Gary Keller going to be on
I still can't believe that.
Yeah, it's believe it or not, there were two people on the list that I couldn't get so far. It was Tim Ferriss and Gary Keller. You would have thought I'd be able to get Gary sooner, but that was So now after I mean, it hasn't happened yet, so I don't want to jinx myself, right? knock on wood or something. But the reality is we're scheduled, so I'm excited. And then next is Tim Ferriss. Then it's complete, man. So who's your guest, man? Who do you want to get on the show?
Oh God. You know what? Like ideal dream guests are you talking about? I want to get I want to get guests that are going to have an impact on professionals, obviously, especially realtors, because that's most of our circle, but have a normal impact on giving just normal feedback of things that people can do on a daily basis. But I don't think it's going to just be only real estate of like, oh, this is what you need to do, and this is the path you need to take. Sure. To like kind of get different people from different avenues and try to connect it. Pretty much what you have done, but just probably on like a local.
So what I've done, man, I mean, that's what I do. I get people all over the place, right? We've had Grant Cardone, Gary Vee. We had all these people, man.
I know, crazy.
Harv Eker, and that guy. So you're going to keep that going, dude.
That's right.
So who the hell are you? People are probably looking at you like, what the hell is this guy's problem?
Who is this guy, right? Yeah.
Right? So you're just some guy that reached out to me 2 years ago through YouTube, right?
That's right.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Tell them about yourself, man. Now we're partnered up here.
Yeah, that's how it all started. It was I had just gotten into the business, and I liked the idea of calling it, and I just like that. I like sales, right? So I started doing research. I started finding out, people were making cold calls, who were calling FSBOs and expires, I started finding some people who were more on like, different states, and I couldn't really connect with them. And then one day I just ran into one of your videos converting. I remember like today, it was a Make Me Move on Zillow, and you converted the guy, and then you said something in your accent. It was something that gave me a hint that you were from Massachusetts. You said something like I don't know, like it just, and I was like, wait, let me just look this guy up. And then I found you, I called you, and yeah, we connected. So we've been like, back and forth ever since.
Yeah, man, that's been cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad now, you and I have been grinding here since December, right? And it's interesting because, running, and going back a little bit, just so people know about you, you were at another brokerage, HomeSmart, and you had, how many transactions had you closed your first and your second year?
I did a combined of like close to 30 transactions my first and second year. My first year was not a full year, so a combined of about 30 transactions.
Awesome. So I mean, but you jumped right in there and you got business going, and you did well, and you were in a higher price point too out in Rhode Island. So you built a nice business, in a couple of years. What were you, 6 million or 8 million? What were you?
Yeah, I was around there, around 6 and 7. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's awesome, man. So we're looking forward to taking that to the next level, and I'm excited to partner with you in helping to grow this team as well and build that. And I think this is just going to enhance that as well. And I think we should focus more. We're going to continue to do what I've always done with dynamic guests, like celebrity type guests, but also I think we should focus on some real estate and give our listeners some great real estate strategy and ways to grow their business.
I agree. I agree. Especially, 100%. Especially on things that we are experiencing on a daily basis. When we get in some of those aha moments of things that we're going through by prospecting or negotiating deals, I think, there could be some really good stuff in there to just have a 10, 15-minute conversation and share it with everyone else. And, maybe other people would get some value from it. Yeah.
What's your biggest aha from today, man?
Biggest aha from today? Well, I'll give you two. I'll give you two. The first one was, like you said, we've been in here grinding since December, right? In January, February, we're a little bit slower than we expected, although it was kind of like the same objection/condition of people that just wanted to wait for spring. People are just not as motivated no matter how hard you try, and that's what we kind of noticed, right? And then what we noticed is by calling in January and February, more and more agents were calling and the competition was higher. And what we're starting to notice right now is we actually are getting less competition, and it just feels like a lot of people have just kind of given up, right? So what is starting to happen, because we were there with follow-ups, with these different leads, people we spoke with in December, even November, they're starting to come out now. And, we took a listing yesterday, set 2 appointments today. These are legit appointments with follow-ups. People already know your name and know why you're calling. And yeah, I think my biggest takeaway today was after this guy, I mean, I've been talking to him for a month and a half now, and I probably call him once a week, send him 2-3 emails, obviously valuable stuff. And then he finally today said, hey, let's get this done. So I'm going to meet him tomorrow and list this property.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, no, we both took listings last week as well that we were talking to people for months, right? It's the pipeline, man. It's just, and I showed you the text today, the guy I met with last week, and he's like, dude, don't worry, I'm going to list with you. I just need to talk to my accountant, right? Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm going to call this freaking guy every day until I either get him on the phone, he says no, or he says yes. And he texted me like, dude, you're the man. Just, so, I mean, but that's, but at the same time, I do that from a place of, hey, I'm looking to help. Hey, I'm not going to give up on you. It's a great time to sell. You have an investment property. You know, if you're going to do this, now's the time, right? It's not just so I can throw some listing out there, right? It's because he knows I'm trying to help him. He has a goal, and sometimes you have to push people along a little bit, But what I want to go back to what you said, because you were talking about the grind, dude. And we kept fucking. Oops, sorry, I just dropped an F-bomb. Right? We kept. I had so now it's explicit. This episode is explicit language now. So but listen, the reality is.
Wait, hold on. So
we've been showing up.
So we can use more curse.
You can't curse yet. You give yourself a couple years and you can curse. But the reality is we have been showing up here grinding through the holidays. And somebody else, remembers another agent joined our team. What he last 3 weeks, maybe a little over 3. And he came in and grinded for like a week. And he's like, holy God, I can't, and then we had to like drag him back in for another week. And finally he just disappeared. Right.
Yeah.
Because it's just, but now the reality is, and you said this yesterday, you said, wow, I wonder what would have happened if dude was still here and he saw what's happening now. Yeah. Well, that's the point. Yeah. That's right, how many 100%. People are not there when it would have took maybe one more phone call or that story 3 feet from gold, right? We all know that story 3 feet from gold. Right? Yeah. It's like, you give up right before you're going to have the breakthrough, man. It's tough.
I agree, man. That listing, so I signed a listing this weekend, right? $812,000. I followed up with, forget about the fact that I followed up with him for a very long time until I set the appointment. But after I set the appointment, I met with him, did my presentation, and then he just kind of went, he just, he didn't answer his phone for about a month. Yeah, and you were
like a freaking psychopath, dude. Like I was telling you, you gotta freaking calm down, dude.
Even you were like, dude, like you're doing it too much, right? But it was between me and another agent. So it came to a point where I was like, hey, I'm not going to stop until this guy tells me to not either call him anymore or he's listed with someone else. So what I did is I knew who the other agent was. So I called the other agent and I said, hey man, just curious, what's happening with this? I know we were going for this listing. He goes, oh no, I stopped calling him a week and a half ago. I hang up the phone and this guy sends me a text. He goes, Albert, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm dealing with something right now. I'll get back to you next week.
That's why I like you, man. That's why I like this guy. That's the exact reason why. Although, I've been doing it 17 years. When I first started, I was like you. Like someone would say no to me, I want to go to the house and beat him up. Like, seriously, what do you mean? You're not going to list with me? Or you list with someone else after I go to your house and spend time there? Yeah. Like, you kidding me, right? I was a boxer, dude. I didn't know any better, right? Yeah. I went to school for auto technology, right? I turned wrenches. Yeah. And I come in this real, but anyway, this is what I like, man. You're like the raw dude that's just gonna get the business, man. Just keep moving forward, fearless. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
But another thing, thank you. Another thing that I'm finding with people is, and I think a lot of people are in the industry, especially people who actually call and try to convert leads. At some point, they give up. I don't think most people give up because they're lazy and they just don't care. I think everybody cares and everybody wants to get a listing, or most people do, but they give up because they feel like I'm being too overbearing. I'm being too much. And I think 98% of people out there who met with you or responded positively to you cold calling them or whatever, I think they respect the fact that you are relentless. It might not seem that way,
but
I just think that a good amount of people, they especially if they're like second and third time around and the house hasn't sold, I think they I think they're in a position where they want someone who really cares, who wants to show them, hey, I want to make this happen for you, and I just think a lot of people stop a little too early.
So to that point, I wrote a book on this, the Sales Playbook, and we talked about the biggest challenge or area that this isn't just real estate, this is all salespeople. I'm going to get you right back to the show. Listen, awesome opportunities right now. Well, before I even get into opportunities, I just want to say, I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. These are some different times, that's for sure. Different, interesting. I've never gone through this type of situation. I don't know anybody who has. But what I would tell you is, now's the time to be smart, be safe, and just follow all the guidelines using good hygiene and protect yourself. I know a lot of us in real estate, so just, be smart. That's what I can tell you. Hey, listen, a couple opportunities. Vulcan 7, they're our sponsor, been our sponsor for a long time. Great time right now to be, you're in the house anyway, you're working from home. Call those expireds, call those FSBOs. They're going to be home anyway, and they're open to having conversations, probably more so than you thought. Another opportunity is free books, right? Everybody loves a free book. Audible, you can get a free Audible book if you don't already have Audible. Just go to davidsfreebook.com and you get yourself a free audiobook on me, davidsfreebook.com. And also, check out my podcast. We are doing great things at Path to Mastery or facebook.com/Path to Mastery for the podcast. We launched a podcast there, and we also share different interviews and training and stuff like that. So again, love to have you join our group, facebook.com/Path to Mastery, or maybe facebook.com/PTM. But either way, you can check that out. Listen, I just want to say I appreciate you. I really hope you stay safe and enjoy the rest of the show. You rock. It's your challenge, right?
Let's do it.
Seriously.
All right.
Okay. Right, you need to figure that out. So that's how I'm going to give you your first test.
All right.
I'll
put that on my notes.
So
here's my question.
Yes.
All right. Here's my question for you. Where do you see the real estate market, the sales real estate market, going in the next 6 to 12 months?
The market or the industry? Those are two separate things.
Well, both, right? Not the industry and technology-wise and innovation. Obviously, that's probably an entire podcast in itself.
Sure.
But just the market, the way the agents are right now, and what the market is doing.
When you say market, to me, I think of market as being local.
Okay.
Right. So to me, that's the local market. Like right now in Worcester, the market's extremely strong, right? Like if you list a property, right, there's multiple offers. You can't even keep anything on the market, right?
Yeah.
However, if you only work with buyers, then it's going to be a lot more challenging, right? Because if you're going to be in multiple offer situations, you may not win. Unfortunately, I mean, we've listed multiple properties now where, I've had 10, 15 offers, and unfortunately, if you get 15 offers, unfortunately, 14 agents are offers are gonna be declined. It's just the way it is. There's no way around it, right? Yeah. And I think that's what's happening. I mean, so I like to think of the market as hyper local. So, and you tell me, maybe I'm misunderstanding. I'm thinking the question is more towards like the industry itself. Is that, or are you talking about like the market? Do you think do you mean like rates are going to go up?
Yeah, here, so rates, the market, obviously I don't mean only local market, right? I do mean like nationally, just the real estate market, right? I'll give you some more insight. So I'm looking at the rates. I'm looking at the interest rates right now. I'm looking at the amount of listings, and I'm looking at just the industry, and obviously the stock market is a different conversation. But if I just look at those as an outsider, if I don't get excited because I'm like gonna post something on Facebook, low rates, let's go, let's find a house. If I'm looking at why are rates low, and then if you also look, why are there not enough listings on the market? We know there's two reasons, in my opinion. The one reason is there's not enough new construction. Properties are not being built. That's the reason number one. And two, the average time that a person spends in their home has almost doubled from 2007, right? I think it went from 4 to 8 years, 4.7 to 8 point something, right? So all these things are affecting the market, and it's going to come to a point where no matter how low the rates are, there's just not going to be enough inventory for buyers. I mean, we are really in that situation right now. So my question was, what do you think agents need to do to have obviously to also have a profitable business, right? It's really easy to get buyers, but then what do you do with a buyer if you have to compete against 15 other offers, right? So what do you do to have business, be profitable, and have control of your business?
Yeah, I mean, the answer to that. It's go after listings. It's what we're doing now, right? If you own the listings, then you own the inventory. You control your business. You control your destiny. You control the market, right? Like we're focusing on listing. As a matter of fact, we have 2 listings we have to put on right now that I'm trying to hire a VA because the one I hired before is just whatever. Yeah. But that's what I'm doing on Upwork, finding a new VA so she put these friggin' listings on, right? But the reality is that puts us in control. So, all these other great agents, and there's some great agents out there, right? There's some not so great agents too, but there's a lot of great agents that, unfortunately, they come, they want to submit offers, and not all their offers are going to be accepted. Yeah. But I can tell you one thing: we're gonna get the commission if we have the listing, right? We're gonna get half the commission, and there's a possibility we'll get the whole commission if somebody comes up to us directly, right? Yeah. So I would say, that's one way to focus on the listing side of the business. And if you're a buyer's agent, that's fine. I'll tell you, we have a few buyers right now, and I was talking to you about this earlier today that are we can't find it. There's nothing on the MLS. So as a buyer's agent, why not go into the MLS, look at some old expired listings, and then go maybe door knock to people and say, hey, I've got a buyer looking in your neighborhood, right? That's what we're doing. We're going out door knocking. Yeah. I mean, those are the types of things that we have to do. Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Right. But the reality is, I focus on now. Yeah. I've always done that. I've always done that. And we've always been successful. We focus on what's happening now. And right now it's a great time to take listings. The interest rates are low. It's a great time to work with investors, right? It's a great time for people. And what we're going to be doing is wholesaling. Great time for people that own properties. If they want to liquidate now, if they want to take out some cash, I don't know that there's a better time. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but the reality
for right
is,
now,
if you're gonna sell your investment property, I'd say now's probably the right time to do it.
Right? Yeah, and probably like the next 10, 15 years. I mean, it's probably going to be the best time.
Well, who knows? Yeah,
you're right.
I mean, it's hard to know but the market goes in cycles.
Of course,
as you know. So, all right. So, is that the best question you got, man? You got any other questions or what? Like profound questions?
Well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to ask you here. I'll ask you something else. Something that doesn't really have to do directly with real estate. Tell us a little bit about your fitness routine, because it's addictive, man. I lost like 10 pounds since I started working with you. So
congratulations, man. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. And you did you did a sprint triathlon race. Yeah. Congratulations, man.
I never thank you.
That's amazing, right?
Which I never thought I was going to do.
You should be proud of yourself. And George did it too, man. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just I've always been into fitness. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna plug this right now. This is my website. It's called livelongersmarter.com. I don't know if you can see that. livelongersmarter.com. And it's Advocare. It's interesting because Advocare products, I went on their site. I didn't even know this. You go to the site now, and on their homepage is Mahomes. Well, what's his name? First name Patrick Mahomes is on the friggin' on the homepage, man. Like, what? He's using a product. Like, how do you get a better endorsement than that? Like, that guy's a super winner. So if he's using the products that I've been endorsing for the last 5 years, that to me that tells me something about it. And not just him. I mean, it was the top guy. Anyway, I'm going off track, but I've just always been into fitness, health fitness. You notice I'm going for my certification on Friday to get certified for NASM, which is the highest level of personal training. And then I'm probably going to start focusing on becoming a dietitian. I'm just into that. I've always helped people with the health and nutrition. I mean, with buying homes and learning how to sell. And now I want to help people with something that I feel is even more important, is their health, man, because I think Gary Keller said this to me years ago when I was in his mastermind. He says, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live?
Yeah, that's deep,
right?
Man.
I mean, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live, right? Especially as you get older, man. And I think that's just a place where too many people are just not focused. So for me, I'm going to continue doing my thing with real estate. And I'm also going to start doing some stuff with helping people with their health and fitness and nutrition. And I love it. I love being fit, man. It's amazing. I mean, it's
definitely a great feeling. And it's also more than that. I do believe that if you feel good, if you feel healthy, I just feel like you're going to perform better in business too. Like you're just going to get out there and just be your best at every. I think I agree with you. If your health is in a good level, I think other parts of your life are going to improve naturally.
Yeah, without question. Listen, for me, health and nutrition is number one. I mean, if I'm not healthy, I can't take care of my family. I can't work, right? Yeah, and trust me, I've got 3 daughters. I've got a wife. I'm gonna be there if anything needs. But the reality is, if I got to take care of myself, so that I can take care of everything. I can be around. I can earn. I can create a nice life. If I'm not healthy, I can't do any of that. Especially as we get older. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm not a kid anymore. So it's even more important now as I get older. I want to be. I'm going to be 125 years old and still playing basketball, boxing. The whole deal, man. I'm not playing around. Yeah, doing triathlons. I don't know about calling expireds. I doubt I'll be calling expireds at that age, but you never know. I guess, right? You never know.
Maybe just do it for fun.
Yeah, maybe. Well, anyway, listen, I appreciate you, man. Anything final? We'll wrap it up here, but anything final you want to say?
Yeah. Well, thanks for this. Thanks for the opportunity. Obviously, I'm very grateful, and I'm really excited that we're going to do this. We're going to be more consistent with the podcast and share some small daily insights. Especially for realtors, which I think they're going to be.
I don't want to get offended now, but I've been consistent, dude. I've been doing this 3 years, dude.
Yeah.
And it's been every other week for the last probably year and a half. So we're just gonna take it back to weekly.
That's right. Yeah.
If you want to take it back to weekly or something, or just I don't know, whatever.
We'll do it every day, dude.
We'll figure it out. But consistency is my middle name, so I kind of took a little.
I'm sorry about that. I know. Okay. All right.
That's my middle name, man. If there's anything in this world I got, it's consistency. Consistency and health, man.
Yep.
But I'm excited to do this with you. I'm messing with you. I can tell you one thing. In the beginning, when I started doing this, it was very uncomfortable. Yeah. Especially as I interviewed some, like one of my first interviews was I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a pretty decent named person. I think it was Chris Voss, but Chris Voss was actually really cool. So it was easy with Chris Voss because he was super like down to earth. But there was this other guy. Oh God, what was his name? Oh, Scott Merman. He was just actually with Tony Robbins I think Tony Robbins interviewed him, and this guy was on my podcast like 3 years ago, and I don't know. He just had I don't want to say anything negative, but he was a tough interview because he was not like, I was new to it and he wasn't engaging at all. And it was just really, really difficult. But you know what it did is it made me better, right? Yeah. It made me have to get better at interviewing and understanding different people and different personalities, because you're not always going to get a guest that's going to be super engaging and fun and they're going to give you a short one. Like you'll ask a question and they'll give you like a 1-word answer and then you're like, so you got some work cut out for you.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
Man.
I'm really excited.
If you can do
call them out,
dude. If you can do a triathlon sprint, you're all set.
Yeah, man. I'll call them out on the podcast. Be like, dude, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this or not? Just start right there.
Well, it's not even that. It's just that's how some people are. You just have to get used to it, you know.
You're right.
And ultimately, you control the interview. So it's interesting because I've heard podcast hosts say, "Well, that wasn't a great interview because of the guest." No, it's not because of the guest. It's because of the host.
Yeah,
the host is in control. Right.
Yeah.
And if it was a terrible interview, then don't, if you put it out there, you are in control. You're in complete control. So
that's right.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, hey, dude, I just want to say, appreciate you. I'm excited to do this. And how are you going to get Grant Cardone on anyway? Because I've had him on already, but how are you going to get him
on? We'll see. So it has to do something with 10X. We have to do something with 10X. That's 10X. How I'm going to start.
I love it.
We're gonna start something like that. Maybe we'll buy his ticket, or we'll call them and be like, "Hey."
By when? So we're gonna create some real accountability here.
Are you serious?
So by when will we have Grant Cardone on?
Oh God. So this is gonna be pure ignorance because I don't know Anyway, I'm not going to give you. I'll say 4 months.
4 months. All right, 4 months is good.
Right.
And I can help. I've got some contacts that can get you connected to Grant.
Yeah.
We'll help you out. All right. So 4 months, everybody. So this guy right here, Grant Cardone, you get him 4 months. Today is what is today? The 3rd.
The 3rd. It is the 3rd.
March 3rd.
March 3rd.
All right. It was fun today, right?
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you. Masters, hey, enjoy the rest of your day.